everyone? It's the Nation of Podcation Daily Podcast. I'm O'Shea. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Hip hop superstar and Hot Boys member Juvenile talks about the legendary 400 Degreez album. Now, as we all know, that's the album that put Cash Money on the map. I'm talking about nationwide, globally. That's the album that put him on the map. BG was the one that got him the local and the national recognition, the regional recognition in the South. Juvenile's 400 Degreez made them a global phenomenon with the Back That Ass Up, with the with the Follow Me Now, with the Ghetto Children, just the whole album. That's my favorite Down South album of all times. It has no skips. For those young folks on here, if you haven't listened to the 400 Degreez album, you slipping, go back and check that out. Where Juvie talks about recording that album and how him and BG were in competition back then. Let's take a look at this clip from Juvenile.
It had that effect on a lot of people, because a lot of people, well, hip hoppers, which I was a backpacker too, for the record. And, I knew it was going to be over people's head, because a lot of hip hop heads like, man, he not rhyming. What a rhyming at? I'm like, nah, this song wasn't necessarily about rhyming. It was necessarily about getting the point across. It was more about, bringing everybody to my neighborhood and letting people see how we really was living in New Orleans. It was more about that than me. The song wasn't about me at all, if you listen to it. Yeah, he wanted to shoot that video. We shot that video. It took us 3 days to shoot it. And the crazy part was, you never seen no white guys camp out in the project, but they camped out in the project for 3 days. And I was like, man, we gotta leave some police over here with y'all to protect y'all, bro, because you can't really just camp out here like that. But they was doing all kind of shit. They put up some barbecue grills. They was feeding people around there and shit, feeding homeless people. They showed so much love to my neighborhood to where everybody wanted to be part of the video. And that's what happened. Everybody was out there trying to get on the camera. And he was putting them on. It was offbeat rhyming. It wasn't so much focused on the rhyme. It was really focused on, bringing people into my hood. Like I said, man, people be wanting to know how you really living and where you live at, how it looks in your hood. And I think that showcased that. I was buzzing before I got with Cash Money, probably like 4 or 5 years, because I came in the game as a writer for DJ Jimmy and the Bitchy and shit like that, who had like real good success at regional sales, right? They had like 7 states in the southern region. They was really doing real well in those states. So that kind of like catapulted me to get a record deal with Warlock before I got with Cash Money. So when I got the Cash Money had all these artists on the label, like a lot of artists. When I got there, the first thing I was told was, all right, now we got some real rappers, so now we about to cut the roster down. So they got rid of everybody. And they looked at me and BG, and I hadn't met Wayne yet, but Wayne was the other guy. It was like, well, it's gonna be y'all and Wayne and Lil Derek, the nephew. I'm like, so you just let go like all your artists off your label? Like, they had like 15 artists. They gave them all the pink slip. Well, I was the new guy. That was the reason why they gave everybody the pink slip. I was winning all the talent shows. I was winning all the talent shows, any competition, any rap battle, anything they had going on in New Orleans, I was at the forefront. And I was the only guy that could really walk into a club, any club, and grab a mic and set that shit clean the fuck off. So that's what kind of reputation I had coming into Cash Money. Then I already was on the radio with a couple songs already, like Bounce for the Juvenile. I had already been on the radio years before Cash Money had started popping. I was next up. So BG album was pretty much finished when I came around, but BG was so fucking creative and so fast on the gun. When I dropped my album, when he dropped his album, and we went in there and started recording my album, before I could finish my album, BG had already had 2 more albums ready. After that, I was kind of like in shock off that. Like, damn, let's do the fucking machine. Like, so that's when I started realizing, damn, I gotta record fast. I gotta be more quicker with this shit than what I am, because this cat is putting out shit faster. Yeah, but when my album came out with Cash Money, it was kind of like the Soldier Rag song was like my takeoff, bro. It blew me the fuck up.
All right, Nation, there you have it. You got Juvenile talking about the origins of 400 Degreez. And those stories are good to hear now. Because that album was out nearly 30 years ago. It's crazy how time flies to think that Back That Ass Up and all of them. Them are over, 27-year-old songs, and they still hit in the club. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Juvenile, shout out to Cash Money Records. Nation, what do you think about Juvenile's comments? What do you think about the 400 Degreez album? Where do you rank 400 Degreez on your favorite albums? Where do you rank it on the top South albums? Nation, y'all let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button on your way out.